Hope you guys are having a great morning. Let's go ahead and jump right into this pre-market brief. We're going to start off by looking at international markets just to get an idea of what the trading day may bring. So as far as the Asian markets, we see that the Korean market, the Kospi closed at negative 3.86%, so a huge drawdown. We had Taiwan, which is also heavy in tech, down negative 1.51%. And then we had the Nikkei that tracks the Japanese market's down negative 0.88%. So in general, the day is looking a bit down. We do have the French market in Europe up about 0.34%. The German market is just crossed into the green, and the general European markets are pulling a bit downward, holding about even. I believe they have a central bank decision happening today, so that may be weighing on their market currently. As far as the American futures, we have the S&P, the Nasdaq, and the Dow Jones somewhat breaking even. S&P and Nasdaq and tech are in the green, probably because of Google's earnings yesterday. And we have the Dow Jones, which is mainly focused on industrials, pulling red. But let's take a look at the charts. I do highly recommend diversifying your portfolio into international markets. Now, in general, it's a challenge getting onto a platform that allows you to trade on international exchanges. There is one, Interactive Brokers. They do offer international exchanges where you can buy those companies, sell them, and earn your keep. But in general, if you want to invest internationally, I do highly recommend looking into ETFs. Now, I have about 5 or 7 of them in my current portfolio, including one for South Korea, the UK, Taiwan, Netherlands, Switzerland, Japan, Australia, and Israel. And they give you great exposure just in general. Now, with that, I want to show you guys a little bit of why I've done that. If we go to the yearly time frame on this chart, we see that the South Korean ETF that I'm holding in my portfolio is up 23% on the year. Now, compared to the American markets, if we go to the SPX or the S&P 500, what we're going to see is that on the year, SPX, the S&P 500 is only up 0.54%. So South Korean is up 23%. The South Korean markets are up 23%, while American markets, as far as the S&P is concerned, is only up 0.54%. Having that international exposure gives you the opportunity to make money when a certain market or a certain region is not doing well. So I believe the other ETFs that I'm currently holding in my portfolio, they are up as well, about between 4 and 7 or 4 and 8% compared to American markets. So it's always good to diversify. But let's go ahead and we are going to take a look at the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq today to get an idea of what the day may bring. We're looking at the yearly time frame. Yesterday we did a little bit of isolating the downtrend with the lower highs that we saw on the daily and the 4-hour time frame, and the lower lows, which show a downtrend. It's a bit of a channel. I'm not going to draw that out, but let's go into detail. Let's get down and dirty with this thing just to get an idea of what the day is more than likely going to bring. And we're looking at the 1-hour time frame right now, and what we see is that yesterday we did hit a peak and then we dropped back down and hit a new floor. So we're just going to move this floor to here, and that is about $6,838 for the S&P. That was our low that we hit yesterday, and we are going to set this new high for right here at $6,906. So on the hourly time frame, we see that we hit a new floor and we pushed back to the upside, and now more than likely, with how the market is going, even though there has been some good news. If you did not know, Donald Trump did talk to Xi Jinping of China yesterday, and he said they had good relations and they were talking trade. So that might give a boost to the market later on in the day after it filters through news networks and things along those lines. But right now we are still heavily in this downtrend. We can look a little bit further on the 30-minute time frame, and we see that we can move this high right here, lower high. So we have a lower high right there. Move this one. So we're continuing that downtrend. The market is more than likely going to pull back. We see that exiting or ending the day yesterday, we had a pullback in those few hours from 2 to 3, and 3 to 4. So more than likely, we're going to have another down day, another day to average down in our stocks and to buy into new positions. But let's take a look at the Nasdaq, and then we'll cover a little bit of news. It seems to be the same story for the Nasdaq, which is a bit more exaggerated when it comes to its pull on the tech sector in the American markets, but it's the same story. We had that pullback yesterday, push back up a little bit to the top side, and a pull back ending the day off. So more than likely, my guess is we're going to continue this pull down, and then we are going to head further down. We haven't showed any sign of a trend change yet. So that's just in general. One thing to note on the day, we are getting a major earnings report as far as the American consumer, which is the stock ticker AFRM, Affirm. And they're the buy now, pay later that has taken over the finance industry in a, I guess you could say, subtle manner, because a lot of people aren't giving it the attention that it deserves. But like I said yesterday in my previous video, they are the foundation or the finance and the bank for the transparent economy, due to their ability to not charge people fees, all these exuberant fees that typical banks charge just to make profit. So it's going to be interesting going through their earnings call today. I believe that's at 2 p.m. and I am going to be on that. Other news, crypto is getting crushed. And a lot of people are saying it's just Bitcoin, it's not worth anything, but I'm going to tell you the main reason why crypto is getting crushed, and that is because the banking committee in the Senate was unable to pass that bill so that it could be voted on the floor of the Senate. And with that being blocked, that just sucked all of the energy, the motivation, and the push in the crypto markets out, because that regulations, those regulations, those guidelines, they are the foundation of the crypto industry going forward into the future and becoming a major part of the finance industry. And the banks don't want it to happen because they think it's going to steal their customers, but they just want to continue dominating in the industry. They don't want any competition. So yes, they're going to fight that. But in general, hopefully this administration can get these things passed and get us out of this, what we're now in, a crypto winter, which most people may say. But other than that, guys, I don't think there's too much else for me to cover right now. I will be covering the earnings of Affirm later today and any other information that I find regarding the stocks that I'm following in the market. But yeah, I believe that's it on this morning. It's going to be a bit of a pullback on the day. That's my guess, even though the market is showing, as far as futures are concerned, a push. We have a lot of green due to Google's earnings. But in general, just get ready to average down. These are the days when we find out who is a true investor and who is a trader and trading off their feelings. So don't be emotional. Be strategic, and yeah, be patient. I will see you guys later today. Peace.